I think it's on. We're here in the middle of Red Square, and we're going to reshoot that. Okay. Yeah. One more time. We're going to talk about business and running a business by the systems. I was doing good, and then I blew it at the end. That's okay, right?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay.
Systems run the business, and people run the systems. Hey!
Hey! Stuff over here.
Oh. We're protecting our stuff.
Moscow safe city. I don't
Sure.
want any bad reputation for our city.
I have felt safe here. Like, I've never felt nervous.
Great.
It's good.
I'm really
yeah,
happy.
so I was surprised at that too. Isn't that good?
It's a pleasure to hear you.
It's good. Hey, this is Michael Janda. I'm here with Evgenia Ignatova, interior designer in Moscow, Russia. We just had a great lunch. We met a couple of times already. She has a great interior design practice and some great clients and does amazing work. And we met in December a few months ago. It's March 2019 right now. We met in December and talked about her business. And one of the things that we talked about were some of the struggles she had in hiring people in her business. And it led to a great discussion about some of the things that can help you know how to hire and what to hire for in your business, and we were going to share those with you today. So, hello. Why don't you tell us what the challenge you were having in your business was? You hired somebody last year.
Yeah, it was about that we were talking about. When you have a team, when you start, when you start your business, when you decide to run your own studio, to run your own projects, and when you start hiring people. And the questions I had at that moment was how to hire for the project, like contract way, or for the salary, for the fixed salary. And by the moment we met in December, I had several not problems, but I tried different ways. I hired people for the salary, for the small salary, for the big salary. Also, there were people with a big experience, with huge experience, even more than mine, I thought that moment.
Yeah.
Or I hired just young designers that I was like, okay, I will hire a young specialist, and then I will teach him, and he will work as I want. But none of this worked well. And then I understood why. There was no system. There was no clear instructions. What is the quality of the project? What is the quality I expect? Because there was always my expectations, but they were only in my head. Mm-hmm. And I didn't tell to the employees what are the expectations, and they couldn't know even that. I started after our meeting to write the instructions for every task in the studio, in the project. For every project phase, I have, for instance, the architect, the sales manager, for instance, and the personal assistant, and the manager who takes care of all the suppliers. So as soon as I write it down, it became so easy to control the quality, to control the time, the money.
Yeah,
of course.
Good. So the challenge she was having is that she was hiring people, just hiring a designer, she tried to hire somebody to run your studio, right? Because she also has an online interior design school that she runs here in Moscow. And so she was running two businesses, and she wanted to try and hire somebody to run her studio. She hired an experienced person, hoping that they would just be able to do things the way that she did them. And what she found is that it's so hard to find somebody, and what I told you is that if somebody could run things the way that you run them, then they would be out running a business themselves.
Oh, sure.
So what you have to do when you hire people is, instead of hiring somebody who fulfills all of your needs, you hire somebody to run certain systems in your business. And the book, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, was one of the life-changing books for me at the start of my agency. Yeah, and I shared it with her in December, and it was a big aha moment for her too. So shout out to Michael Gerber for that amazing book. But it changed my life about 3 years into my agency. One of the quotes in that book is that systems run the business and people run the systems. So you have to create a systematic way of doing things in your business, and then you hire people to run the system that you've created. And this made a huge difference in my business. I started writing employee manuals and creating the structured system on how people should do the things that my agency did. And she started this adventure on December 20th, as soon as our meeting was done.
3 months ago.
Yeah, and it really had a big change in her business too. She just showed me her manual that shows all of the phases of the projects that she has and what happens in each phase, and her portfolio, and it looks amazing, and it's all very structured. And you had a client who was an old client of yours, and what did they say to you after you showed them what your...
Actually, yeah, as soon as they got the portfolio, they was so kind of shocked, I would say.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, would it be really interesting for you to run our project because it's not so big? Because really, when you structure all the things and you show the step-by-step communication with you and your agency, and on the other list you show all the opportunities and services that you can do. Actually, I could do this even before, but I couldn't describe it in this structured way.
Yeah.
And the client, when he saw it, he's like, oh, it seems like a very big company with huge resources.
Yeah.
So would it be really interesting for you to run our small project about renovation of the office? But the other thing was, exactly, yeah, I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
The next step was like, but no worries, we have another project. It's a strategic way, and it's more interesting.
It's bigger.
It's bigger. It's more interesting for
good.
you. Yeah. But let's do this, and it's just like for a couple of weeks, I know we will do this, but actually we do have bigger project, and we will offer you also this project. Let's talk about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it was so structured and so professional and so systematic that the client was afraid that she wasn't going to be interested, or that it wasn't going to be enough money for her to take on the project. And so this really, clients will succumb to your structure. If you're structured and organized, they will look at you as the expert. They will follow your processes. And if you're disorganized and haphazard, then the client won't have that same level of confidence in you. So structure your systems and processes, create systematic tasks for everything that you do, and then walk your client through how you execute on work. Walk them through those processes, and you're going to be able to charge more money. You're going to be able to land bigger projects and ultimately grow your business. Okay.
Exactly.
Good.
And this is the selling point, of course. When you show all the process, how you work, this is the solution. This is the way you will solve the problems, the client's task.
Yeah.
And only after that they ask about, okay, what's the price?
Yeah.
They don't argue with the price. Just, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me the bill.
Exactly. They're like, oh, I'm sold on this solution.
Yeah.
I want whatever it costs. I want that. Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was really surprising for me. Something new.
Good. Perfect. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, click like. If you have any questions for me or for Eugenie, just shoot some comments in the comment section below, and we'll chime in. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
People love McDonald's in Moscow, right? Like they told me when I first came that McDonald's here was better than McDonald's in the United States.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had McDonald's here, and it wasn't better.
Yeah, it's still there.
It was the same.
I think it's
emergency calories that you need.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I'm not actually their client.
You're not their client. Yeah.
No.
I know.
But
I'm an emergency
sometimes,
McDonald's client.
It's kind of really emergency.
Yeah.